We had a carnival going on at the final night of WestFest tonight, and at about 9:20 p.m., officers who were working at WestFest spotted two groups of people who seemed to be having some sort of a verbal altercation. The officers approached these two groups in order to kind of break this up and calm things down, and as they approached, they witnessed a male from one of the groups pull out a gun and start firing it toward the other group. One of the officers did return fire toward the suspect, did not hit the suspect, but they were able to very quickly take the suspect into custody. We do have a total of 5 people who were struck by gunshots. We have an 18-year-old male who is deceased at the scene. We have a 41-year-old female bystander who was hit by gunshots and was taken to the hospital and passed away. We have an 8-month-old infant who was also hit by gunfire and was taken to the hospital and passed away. The 41-year-old woman and the 8-month-old infant were not connected in any way to either of the two groups of that original skirmish that started. 2 additional teenagers were shot, both of them shot in their arms. It's unclear at this point if they were connected to that original altercation. One of them is a 17-year-old female. The other is a 15-year-old male, and again, they both suffered gunshot wounds to their arms. The only other injury in this incident was a pregnant woman who was hurt trying to climb a fence when the incident broke out. The suspect, as I mentioned, was immediately taken into custody. He is a 16-year-old male. He has been taken to the police station where he will be questioned by detectives. That has not happened yet, but that is what we're expecting to happen tonight. There were numerous people who witnessed this incident. Detectives right now are working through conducting interviews with those witnesses. They are also aware of a number of people who witnessed this incident but left in kind of the chaos of everything. If there are people out there who witnessed this incident and have some information, we ask that they do contact the West Valley City Police Department.
Is everybody involved, you have them in custody or detained? You're not looking for anybody else?
That's correct. The only suspect in this case is the 16-year-old male who was immediately taken into custody by officers, and he is detained at this point and will be questioned.
The people who were hit by gunfire, I think you said, were they connected in any way with each other, with the original two sides that had beef with each other?
So the 18-year-old who is deceased, we believe is connected and was part of the opposing group that the suspect was in. There were these two groups that had this verbal altercation, which appeared to end up resulting in one of the males, the 16-year-old male from one of the groups, firing at the other group and striking this 18-year-old male who's deceased. The 8-month-old infant was just an innocent bystander, not connected to any of the people in either of the groups, as was the 41-year-old female, just another person who happened to be in that area. The 2 teens that were struck in the arm, though, it is not clear yet if they were part of one of those groups or not.
And you said the 8-month-old and the 41-year-old woman are not connected.
They are not connected either. No, they are two entirely separate people.
What's the mood over there? I mean, WestFest is fun. It's a carnival. People come here to get away from the problems of the world, and
Yeah, I think that is just the thing that is so difficult for this community. WestFest is something that is a celebration of our community, a celebration of all of the things that make our community great, a celebration of the diversity and the fun and the good, hardworking people of our community. And it's heartbreaking, I think, for all of us to see something like this happen. It's something that is, just a real treasure, something that we really enjoy in our community.
How many people do you think were at the festival when this happened?
I don't have exact numbers. We know that at some points during the weekend, the crowd approached numbers approximating 10,000 people. But that was on, I think, Friday and Saturday, and so on a Sunday it might be a little bit different.
Did the officers return fire, or did they take him in custody by then?
We did have an officer who returned fire on the suspect who was firing his weapon. The officer did not strike the suspect, but the officers were able to very quickly take him into custody. They were already on scene. They actually witnessed the shooting occur, so they were right there, grabbed him right away and got him into custody. I'm sorry, say again?
Is this gang related, do we know?
So we don't know at this point. It's very early in the investigation, obviously. We haven't even had a chance to talk to the suspect yet. We do have some witnesses that we're interviewing at this time, and the suspect is in holding until we're able to speak with him. We don't know yet if this was gang related. We do know that we have two groups of people who are having some sort of a verbal altercation, but it will be a little bit of time before we can determine if it was connected to any kind of gang activity.
The law enforcement response, Roxanne, there are agencies from all across the valley here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, officers out there.
Yes, there are law enforcement officers from all over the valley who are here assisting us. We're very grateful for their assistance. When you have something like this happen and it's a very dynamic event, we don't know exactly what's going on. We don't know why shots are being fired. We have a large crowd that we need to help safely disperse. We're really grateful for our law enforcement partners who come and help us kind of work through some of those logistics.
Do you know whether the victims were shot by the perpetrator or whether any of the return gunfire from police struck bystanders?
We do know that the victims were shot by the suspect.
How many shots do you think were fired in total?
I don't have that number, I'm sorry. I know that there were multiple, though. I know that the victims suffered multiple gunshot wounds.
And you said 5 victims?
Yes, 5 victims shot, and then we have that one injured woman who was not shot but was injured trying to get away.
Do you have any details about the types of weapons?
I don't know. From what I understand, it was potentially a handgun, but that's something that will bear out, of course, as we continue the investigation into this.
Officers were involved.
I'm sorry, I don't actually have the number of how many actually witnessed the shooting. I know that there were multiple, but I don't know how many exactly.
Are weapons allowed in WestFest, or is there any security to get hours in this one?
It is open as far as if you're asking if there are metal detectors or things like that. Of course, anyone would be expected to abide by the laws surrounding weapons. That's not something that would be specific to WestFest. As far as security, we devote an extensive amount of resources to WestFest, in particular because it's a large crowd. It's any sort of a gathering of this nature where you have a lot of people, we're going to, of course, devote a significant amount of security resources to be there to ensure that things are safe. Okay, if that's everything, I don't expect any further updates tonight. There's nothing that I'll be able to update tonight. We do have the suspect in custody, and that would be, of course, the main concern there. The next bits of information that I expect we would be able to release would be the identity of the 18 and the 41-year-old victims. That is something, of course, it would be pending notification of next of kin, so we want to make sure all of that's done before I'm able to release that. As for the suspect, of course, we won't be releasing his name either because he is a juvenile. But the next bits of information that we would likely be able to release would be that information about the victims. And I expect that would probably be following notification, which would likely occur sometime tomorrow.
We're in the carnival.
Kind of, if once police have cleared out, if you're looking at the carnival from the north facing toward the south, it's right in the first, I guess it would be like the first lane of where rides are.